Welcome to the CryptoWise channel. My name is Dave. Today we're going to be talking about JUP, and I'll give you an update on Bitcoin. If you're new to the channel, we talk about macro technical analysis, facts, and the chart, staying cool, calm, and focused. In my previous video, I talked about Bitcoin. Well, I talked about hype, but I did share an update on Bitcoin, talking about how we could see a short-term reversal and upside in July. I believe it was over here. As you can see in the drawing, I've been talking about the potential of this RSI closing above this trend line, signaling a positive momentum shift, a movement in the upwards direction that is a leading indicator that would likely be the signal of the price action to follow to the upside. And so far, we have seen that play out. And we can see here on the 12-hour RSI, boom. We see that the candle did very well close nice and green. Well, even the first one here was already a close outside of here. So now the momentum out of this entire consolidation is split to positive. The expectation is to see these previous levels get tested before any further downside. It's very possible that we could continue up into this area, have a pullback, see a slightly higher high, and then a breakdown from there. Having a mid-July or a end of July pivot high, pivot lower high, right, compared to this one. The max I could see is us rallying all the way into the prior downward sloping trend line by the end of the month. And by the end of the month, I would say that that would probably be where August will take us down. Historically, that's been what has been going on. So for now, pressures to the upside. There's coins that are starting to make a move to the upside now, like Ethereum and other coins short-term are moving. I still believe that we're going to see more downside. I just think that for now, we are temporarily in a uptrend on the shorter time frame, but larger time frame, the weekly, still pressure is down until we break above this weekly downtrend and this weekly RSI. As long as those things aren't met, then the pressure is still down. As long as see this weekly RSI downtrend, touch point, touch point, touch point. As long as that gets respected, the pressure is still down. If we break above this RSI, then I would suspect that the pressure is now flipping bullish. If we at the same time closing up outside of this price action downtrend. Until that, pressure's down and we're in a short-term uptrend at the moment. So that's your update on Bitcoin. I did the short-term and the and I still see there is a possibility that we don't meet that the low 40s, 44K area. It is possible that we could go up and back down into this area here, and see this area as a potential low. But this is why I have this box here, right? Because it was assumptive based on historical data that we would see this area get tagged as a low, and we're very close actually. And I put this box in back when the price was over, I think I made my first video in January, it was right here. I mean, I had the box in before that, but the first video I made was on this channel was when the price was over here, and I talked about this area getting tagged in the Q3, Q4 timeframe of this year. So, all right, getting into JUP. JUP is a pretty popular coin linked to Solana, and it's its first cycle, but I thought I'd give it, since it's tied to Solana and it's performing interestingly, I figured that it'd be a good coin to put out there and share. So it's essentially in a downtrend, a very clear descending triangle, descending channel or descending triangle. I mean, it's more of a channel really. and it's been respecting the trend very nicely. It is possible that we are at a low formation due to the fact that this low in February, which was this low here on Bitcoin, held as a higher low when Bitcoin came and went lower in June, which is this wick here, or even where we're at now. JUP actually held that low and pushed higher, and is now tackling the May high, which in comparison to Bitcoin is way over here. So structurally, JUP is holding very well and is looking like it's primed for more upside. And because we're getting so close to our typical 4-year cycle targets, I would say that it's very possible that JUP actually has bottomed or is in its bottoming phase. I've made videos already about a couple other coins that are getting very close to that point. We could see more downside, but just the structure and shape of it is giving me a bullish sentiment. So we can see that the all-time high was over here for JUP only in this comparison to Bitcoin. In 2024, Bitcoin was actually still not broken in all-time highs. March, yeah, it was over here. Or actually, yeah, no, it had created a local high. March, yeah, right here, when it hit 74 for the first time in this bull cycle. In this bull cycle, in the 2024 bull cycle. So, and as it was going sideways, JUP basically went sideways. But even as Bitcoin broke in all-time highs in December, JUP did also see a rise, but never took out its prior high. Created a double top formation. One top, two top breakdown, back test lower, and it's been in a downtrend since that double top broke down. This here was Bitcoin's all-time high, and you can see that JUP has been in a downtrend since way before then. This liquidity wick is quite deep. Don't know if it's going to get filled. They do often get filled, but seeing as how it's looking right now, it's very possible that it has bottomed. So let's look at the distance between the swing high and swing low. It already did a 92% down, which is very typical for altcoins. It's normal to see anywhere between 85 to 98% even, which would fill that wick if we did go down that far. I don't think it's going to happen. What I would suspect happens is this month, two scenarios I could see happening with JUP is that potentially that this month of July, we break out and push a little higher into this zone here, where we see a rejection and a pullback into this zone here. And then this would just be an area where it would be good to accumulate again. And then potentially that's the low for the cycle. Another situation I could see happening is that it just starts to run out of gas already sooner. We get back test of this structure here. Maybe we wick above it temporarily. Maybe not that soon or not that late, but somewhere around this month. Whoops. So up like this, perhaps a wick into that area, break down. We could see a back test of this area and then potentially a push back into the support. And then this area being the accumulation zone. There is a potential that we could break down, but if we do break down, then the next support level is going to be this downward sloping support, which we could see a final tag to there before making its way up. So a couple situations. This all depends on how it plays out, how it develops. The likelihood of seeing this area get tagged, especially if Bitcoin keeps going up here to that 65K area, is pretty high. This will act as strong resistance. I don't expect it to just plow through here. It's very likely that it could see a rejection here, come back down to this area. The likelihood is that this area will act as resistance and the price will see some type of rejection from that point. Whether it holds and pushes higher and comes down, or whether it holds and just, or whether it gets rejected and just comes down, is yet to be seen. My expectation right now is that this area here, I would say this whole zone here, let me just get this box here. There's my box. So I would say anywhere between, I would say like this, and I'm bringing it down. So it's a wide box here, right around 10 cents. And I believe that JUP is a reliable coin as well because it's heavily linked to Solana's performance. So it is something that I consider a reliable asset to invest in. So this is where I would say accumulation zone is even between 18 and 10 cents. This is what I would say is a good accumulation zone. Right. Keeping track of Bitcoin too as well. Yeah. So we could break out of this downtrend, but then again, it's very possible that it just rolls over. I'm curious about how Near is doing. I talked about Near doing something similar because it broke out of a channel. I haven't looked at it in a little while. Well, let's have a look and see. It's still sitting around $1.94, so it held. And so I was looking, I was wondering if this level would have held, and it looks like it did. So far it's holding out of this descending channel. So you could see that it had a breakout, it back tested the channel and even the prior structure, and it looks like it's holding. If July is positive, Near could keep going as well. Yeah. So we could see these highs get tagged again. But once again, this also could be something where, you know, July is bullish and yet the same highs get tagged and then it rolls over. And we see some of these levels get swept again. As you can see here, sometimes the levels get supported. We see a move up into resistance, get rejected and go lower. It's very possible that it moves up into these levels of resistance and see that move down, especially when those targets on Bitcoin haven't been hit yet. And I have made warnings about altcoins bottoming sooner, so we're starting to see that remnants. It is possible that Near has already bottomed. I did talk about that. And yeah, we shall see what happens. So JUP also same thing. I mean, it could break out of this and hold as well. Break out, back test this level or the downward sloping channel, and then eventually break higher in its own world, and maybe it travels around here a little bit before it goes up. There's all sorts of different scenarios that could be playing out here. But I still believe that this area could be tagged again as far as what I can see. Yeah, if you guys find this helpful, like, subscribe, share, appreciate the comments. All right, see you next video. Peace.